Okay, hello. This is Tiger Asa. So I want to do a video lah that basically explain what was the rationale behind Operation Ichi-Go. So Operation Ichi-Go basically was a massive operations during the uh Operation Ichi-Go was a massive operation conducted by the Japanese army. Basically they try to link up the northern part of China with their southern holdings in 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 the French Indo-China. So they try to basically form a land corridor between the north and the south. So they basically connect up their territories in the north and south, in the northern, central and southern part of China. So because okay, this part is the central China lah, whereas this part is the northern. Okay, this part is the central China, then this part is like the northern part of China. Yeah, because if you look at the Three Kingdoms map, basically if you look at the Three Kingdoms map, need a better. Okay, yeah, if you look at the Three Kingdoms map, the Wei basically occupy the northern part of China, then the Wu and the Shu Han, they occupy the southern part of China. Yeah, so basically they try to connect up the northern part, the central part and the southern part of China by doing this massive operation. So if you study the Battle of Wuhan, this was a battle in central China. Yeah, basically this part of Wuhan is the central part of China. Okay, so what was the rationale behind Operation Ichi-Go? So this happened between April to December. It happened from April to December 1944. Okay, okay, it's recording. Okay, so let's study the strategic situation. So before Operation Ichi-Go happened, which was April 1944. Okay, so what was the strategic situation? Okay, I can show you the strategy map. Let's ignore the date here. Let's pretend that the date for this one will be 19. Let's pretend the date for this one will be April 1944. So in April 1944, Japan had control this part of China. Yeah, so they still haven't captured Nanning, and they still haven't captured Changsha. Yeah, because during Operation Ichi-Go, you can see the goal was to capture Nanning, Changsha, and everything else in between. Yeah, so what happened? Okay, so the first thing to talk about was the ending of Japanese occupation in the Aleutian Island. So the Battle of Atu. So during this time, the US has liberated the Atu Island from the Japanese occupation. So you can study the Battle of Atu. Yeah, so it happened from 11 to May 1943. Okay, then the Japanese actually occupied the Nauru Island till 13 September 1945. So the Nauru Island was here. So this is the Nauru Island. This one is in the eastern Micronesia, which is somewhere to the east of Papua New Guinea. So the Japanese occupy Nauru Island. Okay, then the Japanese owned the Marshall Island before World War II. So the Marshall Island chain was under the Japanese occupation. Yeah, before World War II, the Japanese already had the Marshall Islands. So the Inuit Atoll and the Jalo Atoll and the Jalo Islands were captured from Imperial Germany in World War One. So what happened was that during World War One, the Japanese Empire went to war with the Imperial Germany in the Pacific lah. So they seized some of the Marshall Islands. So the Japanese occupied the Gilbert Islands on this day, which is 9 to 10 December 1941. So this is the Marshall Island, then the Gilbert Island will be here. So this is the Gilbert Island. So the Japanese occupied the Gilbert Island. Okay, so the Japanese actually planned to invade the Ellis Island, which is called Operation FS. If you search Operation FS. So it was quite interesting. They planned to occupy Fuji, American Samoa, and New Caledonia in the South Pacific lah. So where's Ellis Island? So after capturing the Gilbert Island, the Japanese actually planned to capture the Ellis Island lah. Yeah. So they planned to capture the Ellis Island. But their setback at the Battle of Coral Sea delayed the plan, and then Midway and Guadalcanal happened. Yeah, if you are curious, you can read about the Operation FS. So they actually plan to invade Fuji Island, American Samoa, and New Caledonia, which is here. So they plan to occupy. If they were successful, they will aim to capture New Caledonia, Fuji Island, Samoa. Phoenix Island was still under the US. Tahiti, that's the Red Dead Redemption 2. Tahiti, if you play the Red Dead Redemption 2, Dutch say that he always want to go to Tahiti. Okay, where's American Samoa? New Caledonia, Nando, Line Island, Tahiti. Okay, let's check Nando Watu. Okay, nothing happened to Nando. Okay, so Operation Flintlock. Basically, the Gilbert and Marshall Island campaign, August 1942 to February 1944. So this one happened before the start of Operation Ichi-Go. So basically, the US started the 1943 Gilbert Island campaign, which was the Battle of Tarawa and the Battle of Makin. So if you are curious, where's the Gilbert Island? The Gilbert Island chain. So Makin is here and Tarawa is here. So if you look at the Hoi 4 picture, basically the US, the blue color is the US. So the US control the Tarawa and the Makin Island, but the rest of the Gilbert Islands were still under the Japanese. But the goal of the US was basically island hopping campaign. So island hopping. So they plan to isolate any. They plan to bypass heavily fortified enemy islands instead of trying to capture every island in sequence. Okay, then after that is the Marshall Island campaign, which consists of the Battle of Kwajalein, the Battle of this one, and Battle of Majuro. Okay, so Battle of. So you can read about the Marshall Island campaign. So this one started in the Marshall Island campaign started after the Gilbert Island. So it happens. So prelude. So after the capture of Makin and Tarawa in the Gilbert Island, the next step was to capture the Marshall Island chain. So the reason why the Marshall Island was important was that because they were a key step in the island hopping march to the Japanese mainland. Yeah. So okay, let's look at the Marshall Island map. So the Marshall Island map, this is Kawajaling was the largest island in the Marshall Island chain. Then after that, Anawatok was also an important island for the US to capture, and this one and Majuro. So the Battle of Majuro was the first battle lah in starting the operation. The Battle of Majuro marked the beginning of Operation Flintlock, the invasion of Kawajiri. Now, so the Marshall Island campaign started with the Battle of Majuro. Yeah, then after that it will be the Battle of Kawajiri. Then the last battle will be the Battle of Aniwatok. So the Battle of Aniwatok marked the end to the Marshall Island campaign. So if you look at the aftermath, they say the Marshall Island, the Gilbert Island, the American emerged victorious but were caught unprepared. So the Battle of Talawat should have been bypassed because the defenders there were quite fierce. Yeah. So but the Marshall Island were much easier landing. So the American used the lesson learned at Talawat by outnumbering the enemy defenders nearly 6-1 with heavy weapon firepower. So the Marshall Island. So after the Gilberts and Marshall Island, they built all these things to prepare for an assault on the Marianas. So the Japanese defeat forced the military leader to draw back to a new defensive perimeter, the Absolute National Defense Zone, which include the Marianas and Polar Island. So this island were heavily fortified because if captured, they will put American heavy bomber within Tokyo. So back to Hoi Form. So after the capture of Gilbert Island, it will be the Marshall Island campaign. So they capture Kawajiling, Majuro. Majuro is the blue. You look at the blue color. Majuro, Kawajiling, and what's that called? Aniwatok. Yeah, Aniwatok. So this is the last battle in the Marshall Island campaign. Okay, then close this. After that, there's this thing called the Operation Hailstorm, which was a massive United States naval, air, and surface attack on Detroit Laguna on this day. So if you are curious about Operation Hailstorm, so it involved 5 fleet carriers. Okay, so basically 5 fleet carriers and 4 light carriers. So during this time, okay, so this is the Gilbert Island campaign, and this is the Marshall Island. Then the Caloring Islands were occupied by the Japanese. So this is the Truk Laguna. So the Americans did not manage to liberate Caloring Islands at the end of World War II. But what they did was they basically launched a massive air and surface attack on the Truk Laguna. Basically they were trying to neutralize their goal was to neutralize the aircraft at the Truk. Yeah, because the aircraft stationed at Truk could potentially interfere with the upcoming invasion of Aniwatok. So they have a massive operation that consists of 5 fleet US carrier, 6 battleship. Because during this time the Americans were invading Aniwatok, so they basically conduct Operation Hailstone to neutralize the island of Truk. Okay, then after that is the Solomon Island campaign, which lasted until 1945. So this is the Caloring Island, which was in the Bismarck Sea. Yeah, then the Solomon Island is around here. So this is the Solomon Island chain, which is in the Solomon Sea. So Solomon, if you look at the Solomon Island, okay, I show you this picture. So this so this is the Solomon Island campaign timeline. So Guadalcanal was here. So they basically liberate island by island. So there were many islands to liberate. So the largest island in the Solomon Island chain will be the Bougainvillea lah. So this is the date. So in April 1944, before the start of Ichi-Go, this is the okay. Before Operation Ichi-Go, which was April 1944. This was the situation at the Solomon Island. So they have liberated Guadalcanal. They captured all these islands around here. Yeah. So this is the island of Bougainvillea. Yeah, the island of Bougainvillea, which was the largest. So there was this thing called the Bougainvillea campaign, which lasted until 1945. So the situation was that the Japanese still hold on to Chosi Island, and they still control the Bougainvillea Island. Yeah, but the Allied managed to capture the southern part of Bougainvillea. Okay, regarding this Chosi Island, Chosi Island. Okay, World War II. The Americans, the Allied basically launched a raid on Chosi. Yeah, they basically conduct a raid, but after that, it was indecisive. So that's why the island is still in the Allied hand. I mean, in the Japanese hand. Okay, then let's check the. Okay, so the Bougainvillea campaign. Yeah, so it lasted quite long. So you can read about this. Quite interesting. I was reading about this. So this is the map of Bougainvillea. So the Allies managed to capture like the southern part. So in April 1944, the Allies managed to capture this part. Yeah, but the northern part was still in the hand of the Japanese. So close down this one. Close. Okay, let's see though. So this is the map of the Bougainvillea. So this Bougainvillea. Okay. So in the Bougainvillea campaign in March 1944, the Japanese actually did a counter attack. So they expand the beachhead. Okay, then. Okay, so March 1944 they did a counter attack. So this is the counter attack map. Yeah. This is the counter attack map. So basically the Allied made a landing at Empress Augusta Bay. So if you want to know where is Empress Augusta Bay. Yeah, so this is Empress Augusta Bay. So the Allied made a landing around here. So the Japanese made a counter attack. Made a counter attack against the Allied beachhead. But the counter attack failed. So what was the result? Yeah, the counter attack. So it's a counter attack, but the Allied actually managed to repel the counter attack. So if you look at Hoi 4, this you see this semicircle part. This is the Empress Augusta Bay. It's called the Empress Augusta Bay. So this part is the Empress Augusta Bay. So by this time, the Allies have controlled this part. Yeah, but they made another landing at the Empress Augusta Bay, and the Japanese basically counter-attacked in March 1944. Okay, then okay, so the New Guinea campaign. Okay, this is the New Guinea campaign. So one thing you have to take note is that this part is called the Western New Guinea. Then this part is called I think the below. Okay. I show you the Papua. So the New Guinea campaign. Okay, to understand New Guinea. So this part is the red color part is called the Western New Guinea. So it was under the control of the Dutch East Indies and currently is now a province of Indonesia. Okay, then there's the Australian New Guinea. Okay, never mind. Then this part is called the Australian New Guinea. So it was part of the Australia like jurisdiction. So during the start of Pacific War, the Japanese captured the western part of the Western New Guinea, and they were trying to like capture the Port Moresby, which was here. So they were trying to capture the entire part of the Australia Papua New Guinea. Yeah, but they failed. So in April, no sorry, in April 1944, which was the start of Operation Ichi-Go. Okay, which was the start of Operation Ichi-Go. This was the situation. So the Japanese had control over the Netherlands New Guinea, which was this is the Netherlands New Guinea is the West New Guinea, and they also had control and they also have control over parts of the Australian territory of New Guinea. So they also had control over this part of the Australian New Guinea. So in April 1944, it was the start of the Western New Guinea campaign. So it started on 22nd April 1944. So Western New Guinea campaign. So it was a serious action. So basically the Allies the Allies first made a landing at Epithet. So the first part was the Allies landing Epithet. So Epithet is around here. If Epithet is around here. So where is the here. So the Allies, so this is the Epithet is around here. So Epithet is located on the Australian side of Papua New Guinea. Yeah, Epithet. So the Allies first made a landing at Epithet. ATP. So it happened from 22nd April to 4 May 1944. Then also the Allies also made another landing at Hollandia. The Battle of Hollandia. So Hollandia is around here. So it's located on the West New Guinea, which was the Dutch East Indies side. Okay. I show you. So this is Hollandia. Hollandia is around here. Yeah, Hollandia. So the Allies made a landing at Hollandia and Epithet. Hollandia and Epithet. Yeah. So this is the operation map. So the Allies in April 1944, the Allies made a landing at Hollandia and Epithet. Okay. Then there's the New Britain campaign, which lasted until 1945. So there were two parts. There were the Central New Britain operation and the Western New Britain operation and the Central New Britain operation. I think maybe just a central. Let me see. Okay, so okay, this is Papua New Guinea, right? So New Britain will be this island, this very large island. This is New Britain. Then this is the New Ireland. This thing is called New Ireland. Then this is called New Britain. I can show you the Bismarck archipelago. So this is New Britain. Then the important base of Rabaul was here. Yeah, then New Ireland is here. Then there's the port of the capital city of Cavian. Then there's a Saint Matthias group, and there's Admiralty Island around here. So what happened was that in April 1944, the Allied basically where's the Western New Guinea. So the Allied made a landing at the western part of New Britain. So if you look at the date, so December 1943, so 26 December, they made a landing at the western part of New Britain, which is here. Yeah, which is here. This is the western part of New Britain. They also, in 15 December, they made another landing around here. Yeah, basically around here, somewhere around here. Then 6 March 1944, they made another landing around here, which is they made another landing around here. So this island is called New Britain. Yeah, it's basically yeah. So they made another landing around here. Yeah, because the goal was to capture Rabaul, which was an important Japanese air base. Okay, so this is the Western New Britain operation. The Central New Britain operation happened much later. So I'm going to take them out. So where's the Central New Britain campaign? Yeah, it happened much later. The this part is the Central New Britain. Yeah, it happened much later. Okay, then there's the 1944 Admiralty Island campaign. So it happened on February 1944 to 1944. So Admiralty Island is this one, this thing. So this is Papua New Guinea, right? This is the New Britain, right? And this thing is the New Ireland, right? New Ireland. So this is Admiralty Island. So the Allies basically took control over the Admiralty Island in April 1944, before the start of Operation Ichi-Go. Okay, then there's the bombing of Cavian, the capital of New Ireland. So so if you look at the map here, yeah, so New Ireland is this long and thin strip of land above the New Britain. So Cavian is somewhere around here. So this thing is New Ireland. So basically there was the bombing of Cavian, which was the capital of New Ireland. Yeah. The flight out of hell. So it was the mission bombing. So the bombing of New Ireland. 1944, February 1944. Yeah, it's around here. It's around here. Okay. Then after that is the basically why the Allied did all this is because it was part of the Operation Cartwheel, which was the neutralization of Rebel. So you can read about this. It was the neutralization of the Japanese base at Rebel. So they plan to encircle Rebel. So they plan to reduce the Rebel and related base. Operation Cartwheel. It was part of Operation Cartwheel. Neutralization of Rebel. So the Japanese plane tried to save Rebel by sending hundreds of planes from aircraft carriers based in Truk to counter the US bomber. So Operation Cartwheel. So this is the important base of Rebel, which was located in New Britain. Yeah. Okay, then the landing on this island is called the Saint Matthias Island. So where is this island? Back to this picture again. So Saint Matthias Group Island is located in between Admiralty Island and New Ireland. So in this case, it is here, this small green island. So basically, the Allies captured it. It's called the landing on Emirat, which was part of the Saint Matthias Island. Yeah, the landing was the last of the series of operations that make up the Operation Cartwheel, which was a Douglas MacArthur strategy for the encirclement of the Japanese base of Rebel. So you can see they were trying to encircle the base of Rebel by capturing this, and they're moving up, and they also have captured this part. So they were trying to encircle a Rebel. By the way, just remember, this is the situation before Operation Ichi-Go. So this was on April 1944. Yeah, it's before Ichi-Go, which was Operation Ichi-Go, which was April 1944. Yeah, it was before Operation Ichi-Go, April 1944. So this was the situation before this was the situation on April 1944. After that, during this time, the Japanese was invading India. So if you move to the map over here, by this time the Japanese have captured Burma, and they were moving to invade India. So they were invading the area right here. So where's the Japanese? The Japanese invading of India. So basically they were invading Kohima and which was when? Which was 8 March to 3 July 1944. Yeah, the capital city, Northeast India. So during this time, the Japanese they were invading like India from Burma. Yeah, this part. So if you want to know the Burma campaign, it was a very long campaign, happened from 1941 to 1945. So the Japanese invading India in 1944. So this is the map, you can look. So Allied recapture of Burma 1944. Okay lah, so this was the situation before Operation Ichi-Go, April 1944. Okay, what about after Operation Ichi-Go? So which was December 1944. So what happened after Operation Ichi-Go? So remember, Operation Ichi-Go was to link up the territories here, right? So let's see what happened after Operation Ichi-Go, which was like December 1944. Okay. So after Operation Ichi-Go, okay, so by this time, the Japanese has linked up the territories around here. So they also have, okay, the situation here was unchanged. Okay, then the US started the invasion of Philippines around here, and the Mariana campaign started. So Guam, Saipan were captured by the Allies. Iwo Jima was still under the Japanese hand. Okay, then yeah, the Western New Guinea campaign. By this time they have moved up. By this time the Allies had reached the central New Britain. So this is the rough strategic situation. Okay, so after Operation Ichi-Go, so the capture of both Changsha and Nanning. So basically Operation Ichi-Go was the capture of Nanning and Changsha, so they link up the territories around here. So they basically capture the river around here, this river. Operation Ichi-Go. They capture Changsha, they capture Nanning and everything. Okay. So the Battle of Mindoro, which was the Philippine campaign. So so by this time, December 1944, the Philippine campaign has started. So the first part was the 1944. The first part was the Battle of Leyte, which was 17 October to 26 December. So where is Leyte? Leyte is this one. This island is called Leyte. Then the next part is the Battle of Mindoro, which was happened from 13 to 16 December 1944. So Mindoro is this one, this island of Mindoro. Yeah, the US had captured the island of Mindoro. Then the Polar Island has started, which was Operation Forager. So Polar Island was the invasion of Peleliu and Ongar. So where's Polar Island? Polar Island is here. So this is Philippines, right? This is the Calorine Island, right? Polar Island is here. So the Americans had captured Polar Island, which consists of Peleliu and Ongar. Then Operation Forager has started, which was the Mariana campaign, the capture of Saipan, Guam, and Tinian. So if you move all the way up, yeah, so this is the Calorine Island is here, so the Marianas will be here. So the Mariana region. So they recapture Guam, they capture Saipan and Tinian. Tinian is this is the island of Tinian. This is Saipan, this is Tinian. Okay, the Battle of Leyte have already started. Battle of Mindoro. So this is the Battle of Leyte and this is the Battle of Mindoro. So the Allies, they were planning to start an invasion into Burma in December 1944. So by this time, the Allies had won against the Japanese in India lah. So they basically chased the Japanese out of India. So now the Allies were planning to launch an invasion of Burma at this time, December 1944. So there was the Western New Guinea campaign. So Western New Guinea campaign, the Ally has captured Hollandia and Epithet. So Epithet is around here and Hollandia is around here. So the Japanese holding in the Australian part of Papua New Guinea was reduced to this small portion now. So I can show you the map. So if you look at the in June 1944, the Japanese had control over the West New Guinea and a small part of the Australian New Guinea. Yeah. Then the green color is the The green color was the American landing at Hollandia and Epithet. Yeah, so at this time the Americans were invading New Britain because they want to capture the port of the base of Ravel around here. So the orange is basically the Japanese occupation. This was in June 1944. My map is December 1944. Yeah. Okay, then capture of Epithet. So there was there was a battle of Lone Tree Hill. So this was part of the this was part of the Western New Guinea campaign. So the landing of Epithet, the Battle of Hollandia, and the Battle of Lone Tree Hill. So from 17 May to 2 September 1944. So if you want to know where is the Lone Tree Hill, I'll show you. Okay, the Lone Tree Hill battle. Okay, so this is Epithet, Epithet, Hollandia. Lone Tree Hill is at the Muffin Bay. It's right here. So this part is Lone Tree Hill. West of the main jetty in Muffin Bay. So with Lone Tree Hill in American possession, the Muffin Bay became a major stage for subsequent battle. Okay, so Lone Tree Hill is right here. This is just extra information. So there was this isolated coastal salient under the Japanese control, which was the Todd is here, Ton is here, Wake is this small island off the coast of Western New Guinea. Sami is here. So there was this small salient controlled by the Japanese. Basically, the Battle of Lone Tree Hill involved the capturing of this coastal salient under the Japanese control. Then there's the Battle of Morotat. Okay, so by this time the America had won the Battle of Lone Tree Hill. So they advanced for Hollandia all the way until the Muffin Bay. The Muffin Bay is right here. So this part was the games made in December 1944. Okay, then there was the Battle of Morotat. Okay, where's the Battle of Morotat? Okay, so Battle of Morotat was here. So the Battle of this is the West New Guinea, right? So the Battle of Morotat was here. Basically, the Allies invade the island of Morotat. So this is the island of Morotat. Battle of Morotat. So this is part of the Battle of Morotat was part of the Western New Guinea campaign. So it was in 15 September to 4 October 1944. So it's this small island here. It's called the Battle of Morotat. So if you go to my Hoi 4, so this is West New Guinea, right? So Morotat is this small island here. Okay, then there's the Battle of Biak and Nong Fu, also part of the Western New Guinea campaign. So the Battle of Biak and the Battle of Nong Fu. So it was from July to August 1944. So this happened before the end of Operation Ichi-Go. Yeah. So where is the island of Biak? Yeah, here. So this is Western New Guinea, right? This is Hollandia, right? So Biak will be here. Biak and Nong Fu will be around here. This small island. So I show you the map. Where's Biak? Here. So okay, this is Hollandia, right? Then Muffin Bay is here. Then the Lone Tree Hill is also around here. Then there's this small island. It's called the Waki Island. Wadi Island. This island was captured by the Allies. Then Tom was also captured by the Allies. Tom and Sami were captured by the Allies by December 1941. Then Biak is here. This is the island of Biak. Then the Nongfu Island is right here. This small island, the island of Biak and the island of Nongfu. So you look at the blue color capture. This is Biak. This is Nongfu Island. I think this is Nongfu Island. This thing. Monowaki. Cannot be seen here. So the Battle of Biak and Nongfu. Then there's also the Battle of Samseppo. So this was one of the last slide. This was, so we already talked about the landing at Epithet, the Battle of Hollandia, the Battle of Waki. This one is Waki Island is a very small island here. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. I cannot see on the Hoi 4 map. So the Lone Tree Hill, Morotat, Biak, Nongfu. This one is part of the Battle of Epithet. Is somewhere around here. Then there's a Battle of Samseppo. So where is the Battle of Samseppo? It will happen from July to August 1944, also before the end of Operation Ichi-Go. So basically this is the Western New Guinea, right? You see this head. Yeah, so basically Samseppo is somewhere around here. So yeah, Samseppo, the Battle of Samseppo. So is this part of Papua New Guinea. So this is Samseppo. Yeah, somewhere around here. Basically this is the New Guinea map, right? So Samseppo is somewhere around here. Around here. So the Allied meet another landing at Samseppo. Solon. So the Japanese, so the Battle of Samseppo was an Allied victory. So basically they made a landing at Samseppo. So the Japanese garrison at Monowaki was cut off. So this is Monowaki. Monowaki is around here. Samseppo is here. Monowaki is here. And the Japanese attempt to retreat to Solon. Solon is here. So this is Samseppo, this is Monowaki, and this is Solon. So the Japanese basically retreat to Solon. So if you look at the Hoi 4 map, Monowaki will be around here, Samseppo will be around here, then Solon. Solon will be around here, somewhere around here. If you compare the map, Solon will be around here. So Samseppo, Solon, and Monowaki, they were located on this peninsula called the Volgakop. So this is the Volgakop Peninsula. It's called the Volgakop operation. So if you look at this is Western New Guinea, right? So Volgakop will be this peninsula. You see this rock, this entire thing will be called Volgakop. Yeah, Volgakop. So the Allied meet a landing at Samseppo. Yeah. So by December 1944, the Allied had control this part of Volgakop. So the blue color represent the Allied control. Yeah. So I can give you a better map. The better map is here. The landings. So this was the landing meet at Western New Guinea. So you can see the Allied meet a landing. The Allied, they meet a landing at Epithet. They meet a landing at Hollandia. They also meet a landing at Biak. They meet a landing at Nongfu Island. They also meet a landing at Samseppo. So this is the Volgakop Peninsula. So they meet a landing at Samseppo. So this is the landing meet by the Allies at Western New Guinea. Yeah, so these were the games. These were the games meet at 1944, December 1944, at the end of Operation Ichi-Go. Yeah. Then there was the New Britain campaign. So the Central New Britain campaign. So Central New Britain campaign. Basically, if you look at my Hoi 4 map, okay, where's New Britain? So this is New Britain, right? So the Australia has captured the western part of New Britain now, and now they are moving up the central part. So this is the central New Britain now. Then the port of Rabaul, the base of Rabaul is here. So you look at the map. So on 6 December 1944, the Allies had pushed here. Then 14 December to 29 December, the Allies had pushed here. So this is the Central New Britain operation. Central New Britain operation. So previously, before the start of Operation Ichi-Go, the Allies had made a landing at Western New Guinea, right? So now in December 1944, they had moved up they have captured this part of Central New Britain. So it's called the Central New Britain campaign. Yeah, so Rabaul was the capital of New Britain. Okay, Central New Britain campaign. Then let's go back to the Bougainville campaign. So this is a New Britain, right? So Bougainville was the largest island on the Solomon Island chain. So Solomon Island is here. So Bougainville, this is Bougainville. So the Japanese had failed to counterattack against the Allied beachhead at the Empress Augusta Bay. So previously in March 1944, the Allies made a beachhead around here, but the Japanese tried to counterattack and they failed. So now the Australia were planning an operation. So in December 1944, the Australia were planning offensive operation. So if you look at the Bougainville campaign. Okay. So Australia phase on November 1944 to August 1945. So the Australia operation. So the Australia had determined that the Japanese forces on Bougainville number approximately 40,000 still had approximately 20% of their personnel in forward position and that although understrength were organized in combat capable formation so one of the goals for the 30,000 Australian 2 Corps was to force the Japanese into the narrow Bonis Peninsula and destroy them. So you can read this So they were planning to force the Japanese into the narrow Bonis Peninsula. So if you look at the Bougainville Island, the Bonis Peninsula is around here. Yeah, so they were planning to force them into this narrow peninsula. So I show you the map. So this is the island of Bougainville. Then this is the Empress Augusta Bay. So the Bonis Peninsula is somewhere around here. The Bonis Peninsula. So there was this thing called the Battle of Pierre Ridge, which happened from 30 to 31 December. So the Battle of Pierre Ridge, 30 to 31 December. So it was an important battle in the Bougainville campaign. So where is the Battle of Pierre Ridge? So the Battle of Pierre Ridge happened somewhere around here. So this is the Empress Augusta Bay. The Battle of Pierre Ridge happened around here. Yeah. So the northern part was controlled by the Japanese while the southern part was controlled by the Allies. So if you look at here, so this is the Empress Augusta Bay. Then this is the Bonis Peninsula. Then the Battle of Pierre Ridge happened somewhere in the center. So in December 1944, the Australia were planning to push into the northern part of Bougainville. Okay, very good. So the Ichi-Go correspond with a imperial general staff contingency plan to the loss of the Western Pacific. So the plan was for securing an overland rail loop through French Indochina and China for raw materials from Southeast Asia, which would be used to develop offensive in 1946. So the two primary goals of Ichi-Go was to open a land route to French Indochina and capture airbase in Southeast China from which American bombers were attacking the Japanese homeland and shipping. So what does it mean? So putting in Hoi-Fortum, very simple, because by this time the Japanese had lost like naval superiority in the Western Pacific. So once the Americans took back Philippines, they could basically sing like they could basically sing Japanese raw materials that were transporting from Southeast Asia all the way back to Japan. So that was the reason why they need to have a continuous land corridor in China. So in case, because if you understand Japanese, the country of Japan, they basically need oil and raw materials, right? So where do they get their oil and raw materials? They basically get it from Indonesia lah. Yeah, but once they lost West Pacific to the Allies, then the shipping from Indonesia all the way back to Japan will be subjected to Allied bombers and submarine attack. So so that means I block off the sea route around here. Okay, so the only way they can transport their raw materials from Indonesia back to Japan was through a land route from Vietnam all the way up here, and all the way up here, and eventually back to Japan. So we block off. So where's the oil? So basically there were a lot of oil there were oil fields in Indonesia, right? So in the event that the Japanese lost the West Pacific, they still can get their raw materials. They still can get their raw materials and oil from Indonesia by transporting it back to Japan through this like land corridor. So there's a continuous land corridor. Delivery is blocked. But anyway, my point is that I think purpose of Operation Ichi-Go. So basically they want to control the railway system in China so they can bring resources from Southeast Asia using railways from into China through China to Korea to bypass the American submarine that were taking a toll on Japanese merchant shipping. Yeah. So very simple. Once the Americans took control over Philippines, they could basically attack the where's the basically once Americans took control of Philippines and the West Pacific, they could attack the Japanese shipping lines from Indonesia and Malaysia back to Japan because Japan they need their raw materials like oil, rubber from this country. So once they lose the West Pacific to the Americans, then they had no way to transport all these raw materials unless they have a continuous land corridor from into China all the way up all the way up all the way up to all the way up China and eventually back to Korea then from Korea they could be safely shipped back to Japan so that's the idea so I can basically a screenshot uh, okay, very simple logic is it practical? No, I think that is something you can debate about but during that time when they were desperate, this was probably their best option. uh let's put a red color. Okay, so they need a continuous land corridor. Okay, because Japan they need their raw materials from Southeast Asia and the raw materials include rubber and oil. Yeah, correct. So they need a continuous land corridor. Yeah, then back to Japan safely. Okay, whereas if you go by the other route, the sea route. Okay, okay, make it smaller. So if you go by this route, it's vulnerable to American submarine now, especially after they lost the Philippines. So basically Ichi-Go corresponds with an Imperial General Staff contingency plan to the loss of the West Pacific. So they need an overland rail route. So you can see the railway is around here that is connecting from Changsha. So this is the railway. So you can see basically all this railway has to be connected up. Yeah, all the railway here has to be connected all the way up. Yeah, so you can see there are railways around here. Okay. So correspond with the plan was to secure, which was to, yeah, but they also have a secondary objective, which was to capture the airbase in southeast China, from which American bombers were attacking the Japanese homeland shipping. So you see all the airbase around here. They also want to capture all the American airbase. Okay. So the China Expeditionary Force, they expand objective in its operation, planning to include securing overland route and neutralizing China by destroying Chinese forces. So you look at the number of vehicles: 400,000 troops, 100,000 and artillery piece. This is crazy. It was the largest military operation carried out in the history of Japanese army. But also Chinese had a total strength of 1 million men. So you look at the casualties report. Okay. Safe overland route. For transport of oil and raw materials from Southeast Asia. Okay, safe overland route. So you have a safe overland route. Okay. From Japan. Okay, very good. Transport of oil and raw materials from Southeast Asia to Japan. So they need a safe overland transport. Okay lah, so I think it's quite cool. Okay lah, so I think this is it. Okay lah, very good. So hope you like and subscribe. Thank you very much.